I'm getting the whole
vista
in before we concentrate on under the bonnet.
You get that moment when you wonder what you've kind of let yourself in for and whether this was this wise? However, I have put a battery on it. It has got oil in it. I haven't ventured to connect up a petrol tank or anything yet, but we'll stick a bit of fuel down the carb and we'll just see, shall we? You never know. I think this is going to be a rather good little car, actually. Right, that needs a petrol tank, and then it can run properly, and we can start putting it together and really getting an idea of what we're going to have to fix. But I think that will be quite a good little chariot for you.
I think it'd be excellent. And no shortage of spares.
No, there's at least the proceeds of breaking another 2 cars up. Or possibly a car and another van, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Oh, I think it's lovely.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. This is the moment where sometimes I think I've taken leave of my senses, and other times I think I might have actually done something quite cool. It's a bit out of character for me. It really isn't my normal MO. But we've got an Astra van. And I was sort of doing a mate a favour when I said we'd have it. But actually, I kind of think he's done us a favour in a lot of ways. I don't think he really is, perhaps realises just exactly how much of a favour. I'm quite grateful for this. Long story as to how it's here and why it's here and all the rest of it. I'm not going to go into it. But the guy it came from will get looked after. It's a one-owner motor. It's done just short of 100,000 miles and it's been off the road for quite a long time. But it's only been here about an hour and I've had it running. Runs quite sweetly. And there's at least 2 more Astra vans and possibly a saloon car in terms of spares, and lots of new old stock stuff. And the reason why I sort of was interested and stuff is because it's 1984, it's over 40 years old, so road tax is free and it doesn't, strictly speaking, need an MOT. I am going to MOT it because we want to get a personal plate off it for the guy we got it off. But Constance's little Skoda, which is sitting over there by the road, has now done nearly 230,000 miles and perhaps doesn't need to be banging backwards and forwards to West London and back and things for her work. And this can go into London without any London tax because it's old. And so I'm going to see if I can get this running properly. And it runs now, I've had it running, but put it all back together and perhaps give it a paint and make it look lully. And then she can have it and I can have it for a little runabout and it can just be in the corner for when we need it, sort of thing, and not cost us anything because it doesn't need, it doesn't pay road tax and so forth. So yeah, it's a thing out of my youth, really. I mean, I remember running around in these when they were new, so it's going to be quite nice, actually, I think, I hope. Got a cleaner set of seats with it. These are a bit grubbage, but there's a decent set, or much better set, over there. And all the interior trims are here. It's the first time I've sat in one of these for probably most of 40 years, but yeah, having all sort of vaguely nostalgic moments, It's going to want a bit of putting back together and a bit of love, but yeah, quite chuffed with this, really. It's got a manual choke. Must be one of the very, very last things to have been fitted with a manual choke. But it is a 5-speed. That surprised me. I thought it was going to be a 4-speed. And it's got a brand new camshaft kit there. It doesn't sound like it needs one when it fires up, but there's a brand new camshaft kit in here with it. Very bizarre me getting excited about this. Hey ho. Okay, so the first thing I think we're going to have to do with this, now we know, I mean, I fired it up for seconds just to listen to it and know it does function. But I think the first thing we've got to do with it is change the cam belt. Now we know it's worth doing, because if that lets go, and I know this has been stood for a long time, so if, you know, if they let go, they're not cam safe. They punch holes in pistons and bend valves and things. So I phoned up our local motor factors, who were tickled pink to be asked for a cam belt for an Astra, and they've got one coming tomorrow for 15 quid plus the dreaded. So yeah, I reckon sometime later this week I'll find myself doing a cam belt on this, and we'll get the fuel tank all plumbed up properly, and yeah, hurrah for all these parts. And there's a lot of new old stock stuff. There's quite a lot of stuff here that is sort of part of this van because it's had its interior stripped out and so forth. There's a centre console with a nice new rubber boot for the gear shift. But I don't really know what's here. I'm just kind of wading through this lot just to see what there is. I was looking at these and trying to work out, they've got little clips behind them. That's, yeah, these things. It's got some in the doors, but the door trims aren't there, so they've got to come off. And they've obviously sort of got little wire clips behind them that slide in. So we can do that. And there's lots of windscreen wiper stuff. Yeah, I've just got to wade through this lot and work out what's actually here and what we really need and what we haven't got, and what we have got, and so on. It's just like Christmas. Like a nice new interior light if there was one. Haha, look, and yeah, there we go. There's a nice new interior light. And a slightly yellowed second-hand one. Different times, isn't it? People smoked in cars then. But there's a new one. Huzzah. Well, I'll put a bulb in that and see if it works. Seems a strange thing to be saying, but one of the immediate questions is what colour shall we paint this? Because it really does want a paint job. It's a little bit scruffy, and I'd like to smarten it up. And actually the time to do that will be now, because a lot of the trim is missing off it, and before I start putting it back together it really needs to get painted and smartened up, and the odd little bit of rust that there is dealt with. There's not much, a couple of little bits in the wheel arch. The sills are good, so we've got to decide what colour we want it, and I think that's Constance who's got to decide what colour she wants it, because I think it's going to be her who uses it most. So yeah, it looks like it was white originally, but I don't know that I'll paint it back in white. I think I'd like to make a bit more of a statement than that, maybe. We shall see. Just put the new interior light unit back in it, and that's working. Very chuffed with that. Start putting little bits back together and checking things through and finding the bits that don't work. First afternoon's always fun. Well, all in all, I'm pretty chuffed with that. In fact, I would go as far as to say that if I had a tail, I'd be wagging it. Yeah, pleased with this. So now what I'm going to do is start putting all this stuff away before the end of the afternoon sneaks up on me and it possibly starts to rain. Actually, it's looking a bit like that. Anyway, we'll have a few more installments on this one, I think. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe. It helps ever so much when you do that. Give us a subscribe and a like. See you soon.